My name is Kaelie Cazares, and I'm a senior at Manual High School, and I will be portraying Catherine Howard in the upcoming musical Six. What is Six? Six is about the six wives of Henry VIII, and Catherine Howard was the fifth of the six total. But in this video, I'll be giving you a quick breakdown, a very condensed version of her life. So let's start with the weirdos and the sick men. So Catherine first starts with Henry Mannix. He's 23 and she's around 12, 13. And he's her music teacher, the man in charge of her education, and he ends up touching her inappropriately. Though they never consummate, they do get caught touching one another consistently. And eventually, the woman in charge of her education, the Dowager Duchess of Norfolk, ends up finding out and slapping Catherine to punish her for acting that way. Then she moves and she meets Francis Dereham. At this point, she's around 15. Francis is in his mid-20s. From this, they do end up consummating and have sexual relations, more so than Henry Mannix. And they get so connected that they even call each other husband, wife in public, even though they're not married at all, which is disgusting. Then her uncle sends her to the court. He gets her a job in court in Henry VIII's court. And at the time, Henry VIII was in a unhappy marriage with Anna of Cleves, and he sees this young girl and thinks, wow, I want that child. And so he gives her land, he gives her expensive clothing and garbs, and it works. And he ends up annulling Anna of Cleves only to marry Catherine Howard a few weeks later, 2 to 3 weeks later. Weird. And at the time, I should mention, Henry VIII was in one of his worst conditions. He was actually 300 pounds. He had ulcers on both of his legs that needed to be drained daily. So it's understanding that a 17-year-old she was 17 at this time, wouldn't want anything to do with a man like that. But she was groomed that way. So much so that she even developed a motto along the lines of, no other will but his. So when Henry VIII was away, she ended up meeting another man named Thomas Culpeper. This man, he had rape allegations on him in the past, though because he was close with Henry VIII, he pardoned him, and he never faced any trouble ever from it. But Thomas and Catherine, they get close, so close, such that she eventually sends him a letter where she ends the letter saying, yours as long as life endures. So eventually, someone intercepts that letter and shows King Henry, and at first he's in disbelief. He can't believe his young wife has betrayed him. And he then immediately calls for an investigation where he finds out of all the other men that had used her in the past, but instead said that she wasn't pure enough to be a queen. And so he then called it treason, and she was then beheaded. All this to say that I wish, instead of talking about all these men that have abused her, that I could talk about the many accomplishments that she had made in her life, but that's really not what historians wrote her down as. All the information that could be found really focused on the 4 men that had abused her and how she was some sort of harlot, when in reality, she was really a victim of circumstance, of the times, of society, and of men. So I hope you choose to come watch Six and learn more about these ever complex characters known as the 6 wives of Henry VIII. And thank you for watching.